History is often taught as a long list of dates, names, and events. But in reality, history moves in sudden leaps. For long stretches of time, life remains mostly the same. People are born, people die, and generations repeat familiar patterns. Then, without warning, a single moment arrives that reshapes everything. Borders shift, beliefs collapse, technology leaps forward, and the future takes a completely new direction. In this video, we're exploring 10 moments that didn't just influence history, they permanently changed the course of human civilization. The first moment begins over 10,000 years ago, with the birth of agriculture. Before this turning point, humans lived as hunter-gatherers, constantly moving from place to place in search of food. Survival depended entirely on nature. But when early humans learned how to grow crops and domesticate animals, everything changed. Permanent settlements began to form. Food supplies stabilized, and populations rapidly increased. For the first time, humans could plan for the future instead of simply surviving the present. Agriculture led directly to cities, trade, specialization of labor, social hierarchies, and eventually governments and laws. Without agriculture, there would be no civilization as we know it, no technology, no science, no modern society at all. The second moment came with the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD. For centuries, Rome had been the backbone of order across Europe, controlling vast territories through roads, laws, and military power. Roman engineering connected cities, Roman law governed daily life, and Roman authority kept relative stability across the region. When the empire collapsed, that structure disappeared almost overnight. Cities declined, trade routes collapsed, and Europe fractured into smaller kingdoms. While this period is often called the Dark Ages, it was also a time of transformation. New cultures emerged, new political systems formed, and the foundations of modern European nations were laid. The fall of Rome didn't just end an empire, it reshaped the entire continent for over 1,000 years. Our third turning point is the invention of the printing press in the 15th century. Before this invention, books were copied by hand, making them expensive and rare. Knowledge was controlled by religious institutions and elites. When Johannes Gutenberg introduced movable type printing, information could suddenly be reproduced quickly and cheaply. Literacy spread, education expanded, and ideas traveled faster than ever before. The printing press allowed ordinary people to access knowledge directly, weakening centralized authority. It fueled the Renaissance, spread scientific ideas, and made mass communication possible. Every newspaper, website, and social media platform today traces its roots back to this single invention. The fourth moment that changed history forever was the Protestant Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther challenged the practices and authority of the Catholic Church by publishing his criticisms. What began as a religious disagreement quickly became a political and cultural revolution. Entire nations broke away from the church, religious wars swept across Europe, and the idea that individuals could interpret faith for themselves gained power. The Reformation weakened the dominance of religious institutions and helped pave the way for secular governments. It also reinforced the idea that authority could be questioned, a concept that would later fuel democratic movements around the world. The fifth moment is the scientific revolution, which transformed how humans understood reality itself. For centuries, people relied on tradition, religion, and ancient texts to explain the universe. During the scientific revolution, thinkers like Galileo, Copernicus, and Isaac Newton challenged those beliefs using observation, experimentation, and mathematics. The idea that nature followed predictable laws changed everything. Science became a method rather than a philosophy. This shift laid the foundation for modern medicine, physics, chemistry, and engineering. It also fundamentally altered humanity's relationship with the universe, replacing superstition with evidence-based understanding. Our sixth turning point is the Industrial Revolution, one of the most disruptive moments in human history. Beginning in the late 18th century, machines began replacing human and animal labor. Factories emerged, cities expanded rapidly, and economies shifted from agriculture to manufacturing. Steam engines powered transportation, production increased dramatically, and global trade exploded. While this revolution created immense wealth and innovation, it also introduced harsh working conditions, child labor, and environmental damage. Society was permanently transformed. Modern capitalism, consumer culture, and industrial economies all stem from this single era of change. The seventh moment involves two revolutions that redefined power itself. the American Revolution and the French Revolution. These uprisings challenged the long-standing belief that kings ruled by divine right. Instead, they introduced radical ideas like individual rights, constitutional government, and equality under the law. The American Revolution created a new nation built on democratic principles, while the French Revolution shattered monarchy and inspired political movements across Europe and beyond. Though both revolutions were messy and violent, they permanently changed how people viewed authority. The idea that governments exist to serve the people became a powerful force worldwide. The eighth moment arrived in 1945, with the end of World War II and the use of atomic weapons. When nuclear bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, humanity entered a new era. For the first time, humans possessed the power to destroy entire cities in seconds, and potentially wipe out civilization altogether. This moment reshaped global politics, leading to the Cold War and a tense balance of power based on nuclear deterrence. War, diplomacy, and international relations were forever altered. The threat of nuclear destruction continues to shape global decision-making to this day. The ninth moment that changed history forever was the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. For decades, the wall symbolized the division between East and West, communism and capitalism, freedom and control. When it fell, it marked the collapse of Soviet influence across Eastern Europe. Countries regained independence, authoritarian systems crumbled, and the Cold War came to an end. This moment reshaped global politics and sparked hope for a more connected, democratic world. It also accelerated globalization and economic integration on an unprecedented scale. The final moment is one we are still living through: the rise of the digital age. The invention of computers, the internet, and mobile technology transformed nearly every aspect of life. Communication became instant, information became limitless, and physical borders became less relevant. Entire industries were disrupted, new economies emerged, and social media reshaped politics, culture, and human behavior. Artificial intelligence now threatens to transform work itself. The speed of change in the digital era is unlike anything humanity has ever experienced, and its full consequences are still unfolding. When you look at these 10 moments together, a clear pattern emerges. History isn't shaped by random events alone. It's shaped by human choices, ideas, innovation, and conflict. Each generation inherits the consequences of decisions made long before they were born. The modern world is not an accident. It is the result of turning points like these, layered one upon another across thousands of years. And that raises an important question. Which moment are we living through right now? Which invention, movement, or decision happening today will future generations point to and say, "That changed everything"? History always feels ordinary while it's happening. It's only in hindsight that we recognize the turning points. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep, meaningful content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let us know in the comments which moment you believe had the greatest impact on human history, or which event you think should have made the list. Your support helps this channel grow, and together, we'll continue exploring the moments that shape our world.